Henry is one of those Texans who's lived in Santa Fe so long he sounds British. He likes to think of himself as a Medici, Catherine most likely. In any case, a great patron of the art. Its working title was, what was it? The Uncertainty of Human Circumstance, or We'd All Be Loyal If We Could. I myself do not have an abundant, sunny good nature. I am more overcast, with periods of sleet turning to snow. All right, love, he said, starting the car, an old Mercedes station wagon, the color of buttercream, whose engine turned over right away, always assured of getting us wherever we needed to go. I think one of the things that ties this book together, the stories together, is some kind of moral or spiritual crisis, and how people are dealing with that in whatever way they are. I noticed he'd changed his haircut somehow. No sideburns, and it was cut, part of it shaved at a 45-degree angle up behind the ear, shorter than usual. And he was wearing a new cologne, one I had recognized on younger men, and like the younger men, he was wearing too much. It put me in mind of gin, which made me thirsty, and it was only 10 o'clock in the morning. And I think it's because Roger's my favorite character.
Really?
He's on some level morally reprehensible, but I don't know what it is. There's some kind of honesty about, he knows he's betraying people, and he does it anyway. So he's got a level of awareness, and it's not like he's a sociopath or anything, but he struggles with painting and with the academy, higher education, and the whole materialistic culture of his patron in Santa Fe. His eyes were steady on the road. He clutched the steering wheel. The skin on the back of his right hand was stretched flat. How old is he? Who? Whoever you have living in your house. One thin line of sweat inched its way out of the new haircut and down Henry's right temple. What makes you think, how old is he? 30-ish. A critic was once telling me that her definition of a novella, what defined a novella for her, was that it was less plot-driven and more about psychological states. So it was a little more related to the short story than, say, a novel. Now that's a big generalization to say that all novels are plot-driven, because we could name dozens that aren't, but... I'm serious, Roger. You're one of my oldest friends. Was I? Would I have said that about Henry? In a funny way, I suppose I would have. I need to get some perspective on this thing, he continued. I can't describe it. All I know is I need your help. You tossed me out of the house because you've gotten yourself a new boyfriend, and I'm supposed to help you? I was a little surprised by how angry I sounded. Are you disappointed? Try dismissed. Try fired. See, one of the problems I had as a writer is I thought that I had to write my story. And my story isn't as interesting as the stories that are in me. And once I understood that it was what fiction writers do, certain fiction writers do, is write the stories that are in them and enter the imagination, then there was a whole other world that was more interesting to me than my own autobiography. I said it in such a way that Henry knew talking was over for now, and we drove on towards Santa Fe in silence. What I didn't tell Henry is that the show in November marks the end of my job at Claiborne College, where I've taught off and on for the past 20 years. I've been terminated, though the proper expression is not renewed.
If you could do something about this book over, what would it be? Or do something again?
You know, I'm not sure today I'd do anything different. I mean, my first thought was, well, I would have published it 10 years ago when it was finished. But there's something, it kind of like wasn't meant to be, and I'm glad, because this book in this form is something I couldn't have imagined, and another publishing company wouldn't have done it.